In 525 BC, the Persian king Cambyses II sent an army into the Egyptian desert. 50,000 soldiers. Not one of them was ever seen again. No bodies were found. No weapons, no armor, no bones. An army the size of a city swallowed by the sand, without leaving a single trace. The year is 525 BC. Cambyses II, king of Persia, has just conquered Egypt. But one place refuses to submit. The Oracle of Amun at the Siwa oasis, deep in the western desert. The oracle had declared Cambyses illegitimate, had told the world he had no right to rule Egypt. Cambyses decided to silence it. He sent 50,000 men, not a raiding party, not a scouting force, an entire army. They marched west from Thebes into the desert. Ancient sources record that they reached the oasis of El Karga. After that, nothing. No messenger returned. No survivor reached the oasis. No Egyptian account records a Persian army passing through. 50,000 men walked into the desert, and the desert gave nothing back. The western desert of Egypt covers over 680,000 square kilometers. That is larger than the entire country of France. And somewhere inside it, 50,000 men disappeared without a trace, without a witness, without an explanation. We know one thing for certain. Herodotus recorded it. Herodotus, the Greek historian who documented the ancient world, wrote about Cambyses and his lost army. His account is brief, almost too brief. He says a great sandstorm rose up while the army was crossing the desert and buried them alive. A sandstorm in the western desert is not what most people imagine. The largest recorded storms have reached heights of over 3,000 meters. They move faster than a running man. They bury everything. If the army was caught in the open, exposed, without shelter, without warning, Herodotus may have been right. The problem, a sandstorm buries. It does not destroy. 50,000 bodies, 50,000 sets of weapons and armor. They would still be there, under the sand, preserved. Archaeological teams have searched this region for over a century. Not a single bone has been confirmed as belonging to Cambyses' army. The first alternative theory. They never reached the desert. Some historians argue the army mutinied, that Cambyses was unstable. Ancient sources describe him as cruel, erratic, possibly mentally ill. That his soldiers, facing an impossible march across 800 kilometers of desert, simply refused and deserted, scattered, disappeared into history. The second theory. The wrong desert. In 2009, two Italian archaeologists, the Castiglioni brothers, claimed to have found the army. Bleached bones, ancient blades, stone jars. The archaeological community was skeptical. The find was never independently verified. The location was never precisely disclosed. We may have found them, or we may have found something else entirely. There is a third possibility, that Herodotus was wrong, that the army existed, that it marched, that something happened, but that the story of the sandstorm was invented by Cambyses himself. A king who sends 50,000 men to silence an oracle and loses all of them does not tell that story truthfully. The desert doesn't forget. It preserves. Egyptian mummies, thousands of years old, have been found perfectly intact. Ancient papyrus survives in this climate. Wooden objects from before the time of Christ sit on museum shelves today. The desert preserves everything, and it has given us nothing of 50,000 men. Somewhere in the western desert of Egypt, under dunes that shift and resettle with every wind, 50,000 men may still be waiting. Preserved, undisturbed, unknown. Or they may never be found, because the desert decides what it keeps, and what it keeps forever.